Hi there, I am the CRM Ninja, and on today's episode of the Oops Factor, I have a very, very special guest. Many of you will know of Chris Huntingford. What you don't know is the power behind him. So on the show tonight, I have Nicole Huntingford. Welcome to the show, Nicole.
Hello, thank you for having me. I know you've been asking me to join this for ages and I've been hiding. So here I am.
I know you are very busy. You are, of course, a mother of three. You work, and you have to take care of Chris.
Yes, I think taking care of Chris is the biggest responsibility I've ever been given.
I like the way you put that, been given.
I
My
was
wife would
warned.
say I'm the biggest responsibility that she got herself landed into, but
Yeah, sounds about right.
it does sound about right. So, for those people wondering why I have awesome biscuits, aka cookies in non-English language, behind me, I understand that you really enjoy baking with your kids, which is why I
Yeah,
got these awesome like techie cookies.
those are awesome. Yeah, we do enjoy baking, even though I end up doing the baking and they end up doing the decorating. So it's a
Ah,
good mix. It's a good mix.
so how did you get into this as a family activity? Did it just spring into mind one day, or did they ask you for it?
No, the kids were bored and I try to keep them entertained. I think it was like middle of lockdown. I think everyone got onto this baking thing. I think I saw so many bloody banana breads online. I didn't know what to do with myself. So I was like, okay, well, I did a couple of banana breads. I'm not going to lie. And then I was like, no, we need to do something a little bit more entertaining for the kids. So homemade cookies. And then as to sell these really wonderful boxes of pre-made cupcake mixes. So literally all you got to do is add little stuff. The kids love them. Honestly, the kids absolutely love them. And yeah, and it was a nice family activity. The kids made them and Chris ate most of them.
Well, he is a kid at heart, after all. So,
Exactly.
when decorating them, you said you did the baking and they did the decorating. Did most of the decoratings that I'm assuming you use things like icing and different colors and little beads and chocolate drops and all the joys because my kids love doing that. Did most of them actually get onto the cupcakes and
No,
stuff, or did most of them end
no.
up in their mouths?
Most of them ended up on the floor and then behind the sofa and in places that you would never think little hundreds of thousands would end up. But or the entire contents of the hundred thousands would end up on one cookie. So
Yes.
yeah, it was great. It was great. I think I bought like a couple of them, and I think we've got like half a jar left of whatever we had.
Well, hopefully the kids have picked up enough baking to be able to bake birthday cakes for your birthday.
I
Would
won't
you
leave them
trust
with
them to
that
do that?
responsibility. No. I'll just go buy one. I think it's safer and easier, honestly.
Got it. Got it. Got to be careful of those hundreds and thousands and where they could end up.
Exactly. Or a house fire.
Or a house fire. True. Yes, I wasn't quite thinking in that direction, but yes, true. So doing that as a family activity during lockdown because everybody
Yeah,
was bored and cooped up. But I understand you found a new passion during lockdown yourself on a personal level.
I did.
Share it
And
with us.
I'm sure a lot of people did the same thing as well. And so I started running because I needed to get away from the house. Gyms were locked, couldn't go anywhere. So running was my kind of form of escape, say so much. Honestly, I started off, I could not run for more than a minute. My chest would burn up, my legs would get sore, everything ached. And I just kept on doing it and kept on doing it. And day in and day out, I try to go a little bit more further. I'm like, okay, I'll run to the next stop sign or run to the next house. And like, I'd give myself a mental challenge. And after that, I realized that, running was actually mind over matter. And then one day I started running, I put my headphones in and I just ran for 4 kilometers. And I was like, this is the first
Wow.
time in my entire life I've just run for 4 kilometers. It took me forever to do it. I was dripping in sweat, but now I've been a little bit lazy the last couple of weeks because you need to be in the mood to run. Like you
Yeah.
can't just get up and go running. I've got to mentally prepare myself to do it.
Okay.
So I am trying to train myself up to do a half marathon, which I'm going to try do at the end of June, if I can get enough time in. The furthest I've done at the moment is 15 kilometers. So going from doing absolutely nothing to doing 15 kilometers in one go. I think I was quite proud of myself.
Amazing.
I was dead. Honestly, I was dead. And just it's the adrenaline and it's clearing your mind. And there's even like random runners talk. So when you're running past someone else, like you kind of give like the awkward nod and smile, because you can't really talk to each other when you're running past each other. So it's just kind of small things that you pick up, and yeah, it's quite cool. It's quite cool. I think I'll join some running clubs when things start easing up and opening up. And
that's really wonderful to hear.
Others.
Obviously, people, runners get into sort of the zone. I mean, we all professionally, what we do and stuff as well, we can get into that zone. But once you get into that zone, you can then just sort of keep it there and just keep going. Wow, that's really incredible.
Yeah, well done. Thank you. Yeah, I did try to get Chris to run with me once. It didn't last very long. He's like, no, I know, no. So yeah.
Have you considered holding a bottle of beer and saying, catch the beer, catch the beer?
Yeah, like with a fishing rod, like, come. No, shame. He did try. Because obviously we try, do what the other person's hobbies are. Obviously, I don't drink as much as he does, but he tries to do things that we enjoy together as well. So we try to find like our thing. But running wasn't for him, unfortunately.
Got it. No problem. Yeah. So from baking and running to the Oops Factor, what do you have to share with us?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I have no idea. What do you want to know? Ask me.
You tell me. Situation, something went oops, the shit hit the fan, and lessons learned.
My goodness, I've had lots of oops factors. I think I probably had the most when I opened up DRM. So DRM opened up a couple of years ago. I went into digital marketing coming in from procurement. So I knew nothing about digital marketing. It was just, I was a stay-at-home mom, just had Lexi, just had the twins. So things were a little bit chaotic. And I was just like, the stay-at-home mom thing is great, but it's not for me. I needed something else. I needed to keep my brain active because I felt my brain was deteriorating. So DRM emerged, and I got given a couple of clients to work with in social media and expanding their websites and growing them on digital platforms. And I was like, I don't know what to do. So tons of research, literally self-taught. Google was my best friend. YouTube was my best friend. I literally went into there, starting with DRM websites, adding all these blogs, and adding the hyperlinks, not knowing what a hyperlink was, and adding like the long thing. And someone's like, this doesn't look right. And I'm like, but what? I don't know how to add a hyperlink. They're like, you need to like just link it. I'm like, what do you mean just link it? So a couple of oopses along the way of that, learning social media tools and hacks, shutting off a client's website by mistake, not realizing that the home page was not the tab, but the entire home page. So I shut that down.
Did you shut it off?
I shut it off.
How? Was there a button that said shut off, or?
No, it was just a hide. I thought I was hiding the button, like the home button, not the entire web page. So I was just like, yeah, from even small things to spelling mistakes to putting the wrong link in, like go check out a demo and I'm linking them to something completely different, to incorrect meetings. And it's just like, it's all of those things, those mistakes that I did, I learned from them. So if I didn't make them, I wouldn't know how to fix them. So I don't know if that's the way I'm putting it correctly, but like you have to make mistakes to learn from them. And
there's a concept in terms of business of, businesses fail, but the aim is to fail fast, because the faster you fail, the faster you learn from it.
Absolutely. So you know, I'm still on a learning journey, and I still make mistakes, but if I don't make mistakes, I'm not going to learn from them. So I find like they're like my stepping stones, and I'm going to be learning new things every single day, and I think having the correct support, and I think community support also helps a lot, because asking questions to people that know anything from like tech to marketing to design, there's always someone there that has been there, and they've fallen already, and
Yep.
they knew how to get back up, and then they can help the next person. So yeah, it's a learning curve every single day.
So apart from shutting off somebody's website, what would you say would be the biggest thing that you can think of that happened during those couple of years?
Um,
Although, don't get me wrong, I'm loving the concept of shutting off a customer's website.
Honestly, I can't think of anything else like huge. But also my mind is like mush. So I don't even remember what I did yesterday. So trying to think back to a couple of years I'll be here for a few hours. But on it, like off the top of my head, I think shutting down my client's website was probably one of the biggest oopses I have done. But it was only for a couple of hours, so I don't think anybody noticed.
Who realized that it was shut off? You did, or was it the client?
The clients, they're like, our website's not on. I was like, what do you mean it's not on? And that's how I just kind of we figured it out between the developers and myself. We're like, oh, whoopsie. Don't hide the home button.
No. Hiding the home button can cause problems.
Yeah, as it did.
Indeed. And now, of course, you moved on from that into one of the Microsoft partners.
Yes, yeah. I work for Mercury XRM now, as a marketing exec, and honestly, they've been so amazing. They've really like. I think I started contracting out to them middle of last year, and then there was an opportunity that arose, and I was just like, cool, I'll come work for you guys full time. And the whole team has been so great. Like, I haven't met anyone in real life, so it's all been virtual. So I get to finally meet them. I think they're probably a little bit scared on the 10th of May. So I'm taking a drive up to Coles here. We're going to go meet everybody and maybe go for a cheeky lunch afterwards. So
Nice.
yeah, it's been really great. They've been really accommodating. Obviously, I've still got the
Yeah.
twins at home, and they've just been great.
Yeah. And I know Mercury has a very good reputation. So I know some of the people there, so it's good. So what would you say in terms of pivoting from doing something on your own to going to work in a company? What was the biggest difference for you? What was the biggest hurdle to overcome?
Um, I think I've always been quite independent. So me being a stay-at-home mom was a big knock. Then obviously having my own company was like, great, this is something of my own. But I work better working with a team. Like, I don't like working by myself. Even though I had a small team, it's different. It's a different vibe. And I like working with like a structured team. I think when I was doing my own thing, it was just very like, oh, I'm going to do a bit of work today and do a bit of kid stuff there. And, I like structure and like a routine for me. And, working in a good organization at the moment kind of helps me do that and keep my mind focused. Because I'm like a squirrel sometimes. I'll be like, oh, wait, shiny. So at least with this, it keeps me grounded and it keeps me out of mischief, I guess. Mischief to a certain point.
To a certain, I mean, you still go and play on Fortnite every now and then.
Absolutely. That's like a whole other community on its own.
I hear you have a group with other mothers.
I do. So we have a Fortnite mums group on Facebook, which we opened up. My friend and I opened up lockdown last year, and because we just started playing because just there was nothing else to do, so we just started playing some online games. And she said, surely we can't be the only mums that play Fortnite. It's a kids game. And at the moment, we've got about 450 mums on our Facebook group.
450 mothers on the group.
450 mums who play Fortnite, and we get together online because we can't meet up just as yet. But the community is amazing. Like, honestly, there's mums from all, as we kept it quite specific, so it's only UK based. And some of the mums have already gone out and met each other, and there's friendships that have been formed. You know, it's like our escape from kids. Like, it's mummy time. So there's no meetups at the moment, so we meet up virtually. And that's our little virtual get together.
I can just imagine when lockdown lifts and stuff, and you got, well, probably by that point you'll have over 500 mothers, you know, all getting together in one location.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine? That would be game changing.
I think it would be epic in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, I think if I saw 500 mums going into like a conference center, I would be scared. I'd be like, no, I'm out. Just walk that way.
Yeah, I think I would keep my distance, definitely. But wow, that's really good. So, Nicole, thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your experiences.
Yeah, well, what I could offer.
So, one further question for me is,
yeah,
what would your advice be to people who are deciding to strike up something on their own? You know, say they're a stay-at-home mother or even a stay-at-home father, and they haven't been at work for a while, or doing that sort of stuff. You know, obviously we all make mistakes and we can learn from them, but what would be sort of your one or two big pieces of advice you would give to them?
I think the biggest piece of advice I could give is, one, don't be afraid to ask for help. As cliche as it sounds, it's a lot of people think, you know, it's a stupid question. There's no such thing as a stupid question.
Okay.
And I think the second one would be is, don't be selfish. Like, yes, it's about you, but think about the bigger picture. Like, what is it that you want? What legacy do you want to leave? You know, and what's the correct way to? Yeah, just don't be selfish, and there are others out there as well.
Some very important pieces of advice. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for that. Viewers, we hope that you've enjoyed the episode and been as captured as I am throughout it. Feel free to check out the rest of the Oops Factor playlist, subscribe to the channel, and take a look at the blog. And if you would like to come on the show and share your own Oops Factor story, feel free to hit the link in the description, fill in your details, and I'll drop you a line. But above all, have a wonderful day.